Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Triune Nostalgia here, and today I want to talk to you guys about an upcoming MMORPG called Eternal Tombs, being developed by Triune Studios. And I'm starting to get a little sick, so my voice is really scratchy. I feel like crap, so just bear with me here as I try to navigate this post over on Reddit. And another thing it's kind of amazing to me how this hasn't been downvoted into the dirt. Last time they posted over here, I was in defense mode because people were just taking a steaming deuce all over it. It's like, hey, whoa, you guys. I thought I was the negative guy over here who was complaining about Pantheon, but man, some of these dudes can be absolutely savage. But anyways, I'm just gonna hop into it, start reading. Eternal Tombs is an MMORPG for PC only that is run by live staff, who we call Tomb Masters. Tomb Masters shape the player experience by running events and changing the world, giving players a unique experience as they adventure alongside thousands of other players. In addition to the unique Tomb Master system, Eternal Tombs is a fully featured MMORPG with an open and persistent world where players will make their mark on the world by running their own shop, unlocking new areas to explore, killing thousands of different monster types, defending castles from sieges, conducting war operations, crafting unique items, engaging in ranked opt-in PvP, or raiding deep inside of dungeons. Eternal Tombs is a unique and fast-paced action combat MMORPG. Now, this is where a lot of my audience is going to be like, we're not really into the action combat thing. Now, I do find it to be fun in some games, but for the most part, I'm a classic tab target Andy. To quote Asmongold, it's just, I don't know, I prefer that style. It's not that I don't have room for a game like this. As a matter of fact, between Monsters and Memories and the other games I'm playing, it could be refreshing to have a game with an action combat style. It's just personally, I think that things tend to get a little hectic, and that trinity of tank, healer, DPS kind of falls by the wayside when you have action combat. But it's definitely something cool that I'm still going to be looking into. It's just a little different from what I typically play. Magical items including gear, potions, components, and more can be used and encompass a full magic system. However, summoning magic from within yourself is evil and cannot be done. That being said, each class has many abilities learned over time and uses the natural world around them to perform their standard abilities. So you're not going to have like innate magic where you can just cast. It's going to be stuff that gets like slotted into your gear, etc. You're going to be using augments and stuff like that to kind of bring that into the world. Chloromancer, this is awesome. I saw this class in one of the gameplays. I think it looks awesome. Keepers of nature, they use trees, plants, fungus, and natural components to summon abilities and attack enemies. Whether it's poisonous spores harvested from mushrooms or bringing forth a regrowth tree that heals, Chloromancers use the forest to attack enemies and fortify their allies. Again, awesome. Completely unique from what I can tell. I haven't really seen anything like that in another game. Warlord, Masters of War. The Warlord uses training and components to unleash heavy attacks, charges, shield abilities to unleash havoc upon those who seek to destroy them. So I'm guessing this is going to be more like your tank type, maybe even speccing into DPS. I don't think they're just going to have standard tank, because you can see here you can also heal as a Chloromancer or do DPS, it seems. Manipulator. Mystery and confusion envelop the Manipulator, mesmerizing creatures, sneaking and attacking enemies in the shadow, life-tapping, traps, and theft are the ways of those who fall into the snare of the Manipulator. I like how they call it fall into the snare. I just like the way that they're building the lore in the world. It has a very Christian theme to it. I know some people are like, oh, but it is cool. Even if you're not a Christian, you don't have to be. A lot of the lore that's in the Bible is really cool, and it's, you might be surprised to find out that a lot of these MMORPGs and dungeon crawlers, they're pulling from that. D&D was pulling from that in multiple different ways. So don't just run away in horror as soon as you hear that. Bone Stitcher, morticians at heart. Bone Stitchers harvest body parts, blood, and fluids from enemies to heal their friends, rot away the flesh of their enemies in disease, and gut them alive. Savage, man. That's some necro stuff right there. Ranger, speed, agility, and skills with the bow are the trademarks of the Ranger. They can track special enemies, skin corpses, set traps, buff friends, and use precision strikes with their archery skills to kill. It's self-explanatory. We don't have to really get into that one. Bombardier. Explosives and chemistry are the primary skills for the Bombardier. They unleash devastating attacks and debuffs upon their foes with their expertise in these elements. Now, this kind of sounds like Alchemist a little bit from EQOA. I miss the Alchemist class dearly. I so badly want somebody to come up with just a really kick-ass alchemy class again, or just call it Chemist, whatever. But I digress. I'm pushing that on Monsters and Memories devs like every stream. I'm like, hey guys, psst, Alchemist. You remember Alchemist from EQOA? You totally want to do that. Sow in a bottle, Invis in a bottle, ogre pills, right? Crazy AoE damage. Whoa, look at this. We're going to be getting into this in a little bit, but this is part of how events will be triggered. Tomb Masters are live staff members who will help shape your experiences with dynamic and unique events. They build out events in real time and help shape solo, group, guild, and server play. Some examples of events: opening up secret areas, which is really cool. Like this spider will bust out of this rock. Like there's normally a rock here. And then once the spider's killed, oh, check it out. You've got access to a dungeon. I like that idea. And I've seen people mentioning to the Monsters and Memories devs before, saying, hey, you guys going to have like dungeons that change in the world where they are in location? People seem to really dig that, so I think that's pretty smart that they have these secret areas. Spawning treasure can happen, changing the environment, spawning special mobs, triggering pre-built events, raid encounters, traps, and many more. Now, here's where we get into the story, which I absolutely love this lore. The Triune created the beautiful lands of Mither, and all that is within them. The Triune's desire to create life was fulfilled on the day he brought people into the world. Naturally, he provided to them blessings beyond measure, and they longed for nothing. The most prosperous life possible was the common standard, and no man suffered, for the Triune watched over them and kept them close. It was the most fulfilled existence one could imagine. However, deep within the hearts of men, they desire evil and power above all else, and the darkness inside of them would soon make itself known. The young man, Dragnarox, was the essence of all things wrong within the souls of the people. Caught up only in his lust for abilities beyond the natural, he spent his days languishing to uncover the darkness and the unknown. He soon discovered mysterious powers through the exploration of his soul and the evil brewing within his own heart. Through his research, he gave himself up to the dark in exchange for unnatural abilities. His body, twisted and warped by these pursuits, was the cost for these newfound powers. Over many decades, he toiled to master the art of what was now called magic, and the price extracted was far more than most could ever bear. So yeah, you've got your Garden of Eden. You've got your darkness coming in, messing things up, making a big old mess. You've got the Triune God, building man in his image, very Christian themed, very awesome. Being now the essence of evil, Dragnarox plotted to spread his disease to the world and enslave all. Cloaked in the mask of prosperity and flourishing, magic was introduced to the people. A wonderful and delightful set of new powers that gave the people the ability to do things they'd never done before, like heal the sick or bring forth bounties of food whenever they wished. The Triune, grieved by their lack of understanding and his knowledge of their true inner beings, fiercely fought against the use of magic and pleaded with his creations to cease from partaking in such practices. He knew the price of such things and that his people clearly did not. But again, the hearts of men rule their actions. Man years passed by and magic had slowly taken its toll. Its true nature revealed itself only ever so slightly at first, but with time it had produced a greater erosion within the people, both on the inside and the outside. Before magic, what would have been thought of as ghastly horror was now commonplace and accepted. Magic had warped both body and mind, as people had their physical bodies twisted, and even further, warped offspring were created naturally and unnaturally through magic. The thoughts and actions of the people were now focused on death, destruction, greed, and power, while some of them were physically turned into beasts and nightmarish creatures roaming the land seeking to further their powers. The people had forgotten the Triune and the blessings of old, but he did not forget them. The Triune, seeking desperately to heal the land of magic, kept small bands of followers to rid the world of the evil that besieges it. This group of followers grows every day and is preparing for the Great War. Join the fight against evil, Send the darkness to its eternal tomb and join the war against Dragnaroks. In Eternal Tombs, your abilities to further customize your character, craft, gain skills, understand lore, explore magic, learn about enemy weaknesses, and much more is based on your academic and artisanal studies. Dive deep into the underworld of research in the land of Mythir. Find tomes, explore ancient libraries, do deep research on past mysteries, gain skills from trainers, quest for hidden secrets, and more to unlock tons of different professions, skills, and abilities. Want to become an expert in hunting the undead? Gain the salt throwing ability by studying about the different types of minerals that adhere to and scorch undead skin. Or learn to boil their blood by slicing into their innards with a specially crafted coating on your blade. Savage. Want to study the darkened elements of magic to embed into your armor? Acquire multiple magical studies tomes to dive deep into the secret magics and use its benefits in ways that don't harm your soul. Become an expert armorsmith by studying under a master metal forger to acquire skills and abilities to forge only the best quality protection. Throughout the world, you must explore, fight, harvest, and research to become the type of player you want to further attune your character. There are a vast number of professions, skills, abilities, and more to study and acquire. In the ongoing war against Dragnaroks, players will be able to partake in warfare operations and PvP-based warfare operations, PvE operations that allow a group of players to jump into instanced events and fight intense waves of enemy mobs attacking you as you try to discover secrets and progress through the operation. As you make your way through an operation, you will uncover ancient mysteries, find incredible treasures, and obtain further access into the world of Mythir. This is nice. For Care Bears like myself, I'm not really into PvE these days. Or PvP these days, I'm into PvE rather. I'm sorry. Like I said, I'm kind of getting sick and my mind's kind of not feeling so great. So I'm stumbling and stammering. Bear with me, guys. PvP warfare allows you to earn rewards and also progress the server forward in the war, either for or against Dragnaroks. Each server will have different warfare-based rewards, missions, and accomplishments. So there you go, you PvP folk. There you're all set. Crafting. Eternal Tombs crafting system is a deep attribute-based system that allows for many areas of customization. Harvested resources within the world contain certain properties and attributes. By combining, mixing, and forging crafting components with these various stats, you will be able to create various types of weapons, armor, attachments, and more. Harvesting, whether it's skinning creatures, harvesting their organs, mining for ore, foraging, or digging for treasure, there are many ways to collect the many different components and resources you'll need to craft, trade, and sell your wares. So it seems like it's going to be very important for you to gather and have the things that you need to complement your class and the magic that you seek to go after, etc., which is pretty cool. Some people might not like that. I think it's pretty cool. Research. Dive deep into the underworld of research in the land of Mythir, exploring many libraries, many dark creatures, and magical abilities to explore and component. Be an expert on magical attachments and imbuing them with properties that allow you to use their power. Your research provides valuable insight into creating magical items and components to embed within armor and systems. Warfare. The world is fighting against Dragnaroks. Engage in warfare operations and level up alongside your friends to earn titles, obtain better siege weaponry, and more. Exploration and discovery. Eternal Tombs contains no in-game map. Oh boy, this is news to me. So we're going pretty old school there. This allows for a deeper sense of immersion, exploration, and mystery. In addition to this, there are secret areas to unlock and uncover throughout the world, and all sorts of enemies and resources are obtained through these ways. So I'm noticing that a lot of these developers, they're starting to trend into that old school MMORPG formula, and this makes me really happy, man. I know some people don't like this, but trust me, coming from EQOA, having a map that you printed up and using it with like an in-game compass or something really made me feel like I was on an adventure, and you just remember landmarks more. You just live in that world a lot more. And I don't know, if you haven't done it before, you don't know how awesome it is. It's just a completely different way of doing things than today. Events. Whether it's Wox's Sweet Emporium or a troll invasion, Eternal Tombs is heavily focused on events and creating a constantly changing and dynamic world. Check this out. This already looks awesome. I'm kind of getting Monster Hunter vibes here, which is a big compliment. I'm a huge Monster Hunter fan. This looks glorious, dude. I really like this. Questing. With both a main quest line and many side quests, Eternal Tombs is heavily focused on telling you the story of Ragnarok's Mythir and how you can play a small role in the war against Ragnarok's. PvP starting at level 30. Choose your loyalties and engage in open world opt-in and opt-out PvP. Earn titles, rankings, and in-game rewards for killing those who engage in faction combat. Mounts. Store up your platinum to obtain a mount within Mythir. Mounts play an important role in travel as they give you an incredible speed boost to help you as you explore the world. Pets. Now you're talking. I love pets. Pets play a critical role in helping you adventure in the world of Mythir. They always have your back and protect you at the expense of their own lives. So yeah, big ups for me. I'm a huge petter type dude. That's basically what I play all the time. Petter classes. Epic gear. Begin the epic quest to obtain gear that ensures you are the most powerful adventurer in Mythir. Weapons and armor both have epic quest lines that allow you to build your character to be the most powerful. Epic quest lines for armor and for weapons. Yeah, you're talking EQOA to me now. You're speaking my EQA language, and EverQuest 1 fans, I'm sure they vibe with that as well. Factions. Deep within Mythir, there are various warring factions that sympathize with Ragnarok's or not on various levels. Make sure you are earning the proper faction to travel to areas unexplored or to protect yourself from powerful enemies. Again, going old school with the faction stuff. Now, I mean, we do have factions in modern games, but it seems like there's going to be more of an emphasis on really watching what you do. Just like in EverQuest 1, if you wanted to get certain items, etc., you had to really watch that faction when you picked which deity you wanted to be with, etc. So, yeah, it's looking pretty old school in that department. Danger. Mythir is a dangerous world. Experience penalties for death are high. There is no level scaling and corpse runs are necessary. Be careful where you go. Again, like I said, we're really making that push towards old school MMORPGs lately, and this makes me happy. Solo and group gameplay. Whether you want to gain some EXP by soloing out in the open lands or grouping up in a dungeon, Eternal Tombs allows for each type of gameplay to progress forward. However, the greatest treasures are certainly obtained with more people. A modern MMO with classic elements. Eternal Tombs is a modern action combat MMORPG. However, we value the classic elements of the genre and will ensure that players experience a deep sense of exploration, danger, and difficult progression, thus leading to a far greater rewarding experience in game. Yes, please. You can sign me up right away. When do I get to test this? When? Just to Josh real quick. But yeah, sign me up, coach. I'm ready to go.
I'm ready to go in, coach. Just give me a chance.
Endgame. Eternal Tombs has a vast endgame. 20 plus raids are planned for launch, as well as unlockable areas, dynamic Tomb Master raids, and much more. Raids will combine both open world concepts and instanced events. Many MMOs are not optimized and prepared to support large raid parties or end gameplay on launch. Having undergone its first round of raid testing, optimization tests, and endgame proof of concept, Eternal Tombs plans to deliver one of the strongest endgames ever on launch. Ooh, that's a lofty promise, man. I hope you guys can live up to that one.
It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for him.
No pressure or anything. Clarification on launch. We're not beating current WoW on our launch, but we will have much more endgame on our launch than WoW on its launch. Yes, people make this mistake. They love to compare a new game to WoW, which has had like 20 years of stuff to build off of, so it's not exactly fair. So they're telling you, hey, there's going to be more to do here on launch than what WoW had on its launch, not current WoW. The world of Mythir. Eternal Tombs will launch with around 30 zones with different biomes, dungeons, secrets, unlockable zones, hidden passages, traps, treasure, and more. Our passion is to introduce a truly dangerous world where exploration and traveling can be difficult but highly rewarding. Take a look at this map, guys. Anybody getting EverQuest 1 vibes and EQOA vibes? Oh, what's up, Freeport? Oh, hey, what's up, Lava Storm Mountains? Oh, what's up, Runny Eye, etc. You know, the place where the little halflings come from. And we get a little bit of Hollis up here. We got, what's this down here? A little bit of Grob, maybe. So, yeah. I'm definitely digging what I'm seeing from this map. Business model. This is important, so pay attention. We're incredibly passionate about getting rid of all microtransactions and earning gear outside of games. Eternal Tombs is a buy-to-play, single box price game with an optional subscription model for those who want to grow their account with more characters. So basically you're going off of Embers Adrift style. This is pretty much what Embers Adrift is doing. You buy the box game, and that's it. You don't have to sub, but if you want a little bit more extra, you know, you want to really get into the game a lot more, well, you're going to want to subscribe, right? You have more characters. There's probably going to be a bunch of different perks, etc. But there's going to be no micros. There's going to be no real money transaction nonsense going on here. And they seem very adamant to stick to that no matter what. Watch our video regarding our passion for removing microtransactions from games. I'll direct you guys toward that now in the description, the link up above. Our statement on microtransactions. Eternal Tombs is also a microtransaction-free game. All gear, experience, cosmetics, and gameplay items are earned through in-game efforts and solely through those means, giving players a true sense of accomplishment and achievement. Monetization comes through purchase of game, optional subscriptions, and future expansion packs upon release. So basically everything about this game I'm really hyped for. And you'll notice all the abilities down there. There's not too many. How many do we got? We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 of them, including what looks like your standard auto attack. And it looks like you've got your utilities up above that. So I really like that. One of the things I don't like about games, most modern MMOs, I'm not big into rotations, man. I've got to be honest. The whole chasing rotations and babysitting the cooldowns, I'm not a fan of it anymore. It's just exhausting. When I play a game, I don't want to have to worry about exactly what I have to do, aside from, you know, maybe getting my dots up on time, debuffs, you know, buffing my party, that sort of thing. Just the way that things have trended to like 57 abilities and you have to roll through them all. I don't like that. So it's nice to see that this game evidently is not doing that. I mean, obviously you're going to have a need to attack with certain abilities at certain times. That's a given. But the only thing that really bums me out about this, and I'm not trying to slam on the game. I'm still excited to play this game. I'm definitely going to be playing it. The only thing that kind of bums me out is the action combat. And it's been brought to my attention that the combat was actually tab target for a while when the game was named Ragnarok. And then that kind of changed. So I'm curious to hear from Josh why he decided to do that. I think that there's just I don't know, it just seems like the game would be better fit for the tab target. But either way, I'm still looking forward to it. I got to be honest with folks. This is my personal opinion, right? That's just the way that I feel about these games. I think that a little bit more of a slowed down approach, it's just a little bit more my thing. I really love the aesthetics of the game. I love how we've got this like Bog of Eternal Stench look. I've mentioned that before in a previous video I did on the well, not on this game, but just mentioning the game. It's just a nice aesthetic. I like that high fantasy style. I like the aesthetics of Labyrinth. And I don't know, it looks like he was pulling from that. Maybe not. It's got a really cool look. I love the way the abilities look. Some people think that that's a little too bright and flashy. They could be maybe toned down a little bit. But I like it, personally, the way that it is. I like all the crazy particle effects and whatnot. The enemies look very interesting. They look pretty varied so far. And the abilities for the Chloromancer, everything from the pet to growing spores on your enemy, it just looks really nice. It's something that I'm definitely into. Now, just to speak a little bit on the Dungeon Master side of things, as you see right here, this is going to be one of those special areas. There's a few of them around here where events can be triggered by the Dungeon Masters. And there's a little bit of concern about whether or not there's going to be enough Dungeon Masters to handle that. You know what I mean? Is there going to be enough people online to handle that? And Josh has said, yeah, it's totally cool. There's going to be like an automated, I believe he said there's going to be an automated system to kind of back them up if they need it. But they shouldn't need it. They should be able to have enough people that are, pitching in and using the system. The system's really easy to use for the most part. So people who are trying to spawn an event, they'll get a menu and it pops up, and it's pretty simple. And it's not something where you have to be really trained for hours to figure out how to do it. So if they needed to bring more people on board, like just us typical players, I think it would be easy for them to do that. And I'm interested in that. It would be pretty cool to play that role of the dungeon master, the guy who's spawning all these things. That might be something that's fun to do on like a Friday night or something like that when I'm not playing the game. So I think there's some unique things here, and I think that we do have reason to be excited about this game. I like all the classic style stuff they're doing and blending it with the new style stuff. Now here's an example of one of those events. You see in the text over there, you feel the darkness of the underworld, and as soon as you stepped into that area, it started to shake a little bit, and you're going to notice that this rock just kind of poof, off it goes, and we got a giant spider to fight, and he nerfed it down so that he can kill it in one strike. But once that sucker's down, you get your loot, you get to go over to the cave. I like how there's like wind coming out of it too, in case people weren't paying attention. Oh, hey, you can come down in here. Loot. That might be something that happens when the game is new, but that should start to thin out over time. But yeah, man, I think this is pretty cool. I'm excited for it, and I'm actually going to be heading over and joining their Discord finally. I've had people ask me, how come you haven't joined their Discord? Well, here you go. You can see me do it in real time. Clickety-click, and I'm in. And I'm probably going to be posting this video over there for them to take a look at anyways. But yeah, I'm really excited about this. Like I said, it's not exactly doing what I want with the action combat. It's not doing the tab target, but I'm not going to begrudge them for that. I think that there's definitely a market there for them to be successful. And it's funny. I started off by talking to Josh saying, hey, I'm a Christian. I'm not sure you want me to cover this. And I should have read the lore. I should have paid attention to the name that it's of the studio, which is Triune Studios, because he's a Christian as well. And it's really cool. And I haven't never seen this before in my life where anybody's been openly Christian and been like, yeah, this is the kind of game we're designing. Now, obviously, he's not going around hitting everybody over their head with the Bible, right? But you can see the influence there. And I think that's really cool, and it makes me want to support it even more. So if you guys like this video, remember to rate it thumbs up. If you're new here, I ask that you please subscribe. Hit that notification bell to find out when I'm uploading more videos. You know the deal. God bless, and I look forward to seeing you all in the next video.